Hello, thanks for clicking in. I'm back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the device from CarLinKit. What this device does is you plug it into your car and link it to your phone, and then it changes your wired Android Auto into a wireless system so that you can just get in the car and not plug anything in and leave your phone in your bag or your pocket or whatever you want. And then automatically Android Auto will start in your car, and then you'll have access to the Google Assistant and the maps and your music and everything else. So let's unbox this thing, see what's inside. Then I will set it up in the car for the first time on video here. We'll see how it is, how easy it is, if there's any issues with it. And then I'm going to use it for a while, and I'll let you know if there's any issues or problems with it, or if it's a great device. So let's get right to it. Okay, so I'll go through this instruction manual, not with you, but I'll read it all up before I set up. It only has a couple of pages here, just to make sure we don't make any embarrassing mistakes. And then here is the device. Okay, so we got the connection here, and a USB-C here, and the USB-A on the other side. And then we have, I don't think there's any buttons on here. That's the sides. There we go, so no buttons. So the installation should be very quick. We're just going to plug this in, and let's see if they included any wires here, connectors for us. So perfect. So here we go here. This is the USB-A to USB-C, which is what most cars would have most likely, especially if they have the wired Android Auto and they don't have the wireless yet. They would probably need this one, so it's nice that they included the cable, because this also needs to be a data cable, which if you use one of these and it doesn't work exactly right, make sure it's a data cable. So it's nice to include it so you don't have to think about it. Then this is probably a USB-C to USB-C, so if you have a newer car and a USB-C connector to your device, then you could use this, and this basically will take this would be what your phone would plug into and plug into the car. So we're going to plug this from the car into this device, and then it will connect to your phone wirelessly. So that is what makes it so easy to use. You just get in and you don't have to touch anything, and just automatically registers it, sees your phone, the car is starting up, the car connects to this, and then this connects to your phone, and the car thinks the phone is directly connected to it. So it's going to read it just like it was plugged in. So the Android Auto should work perfectly. And these devices, I have a few of these, and basically they should just disappear into the background. You set it up, and you could put it into your little glove box or whatever, and you don't even need to see it. You get in the car, it would automatically start your Android Auto, and when you get out, it shuts it off, and you're gone. So this is a real nice, these devices are really great. So I'll go ahead and set this one up in the car. We'll see how easy that is. And then I'll use it for a little while. And like I said, see if there's any glitches or how everything works with this. So in the description, I'll put some links on where to get this thing. I believe it's available on Amazon, and you can also buy it from the company. So the next step is to set this thing up. Okay, so I have, as promised, I'm in the car here. Got the CarLink. This is the 4.0 version. And let's get in here. The instruction manual, there is one important detail, that there is the password for the Wi-Fi that I needed in other devices. You do get the two cables here. We don't need this one for now. Use this here. So here's the device. And again, you got the USB-C there and the USB-A over there. There's no buttons on the device at all, so a very simple setup here. You just got to plug this into your USB data port, then you plug this in here. Okay, so there's no lights or like I said, any buttons of any kind here. We just plug it in, and then on your phone you find the make sure your Bluetooth is set to scanning, then you just click on the device there, the WIRED Auto kit with some numbers next to it. Doesn't really matter what they are. You just go ahead and pair that. Then you also do have to make sure your Wi-Fi is set to scan. So the Wi-Fi, that will pop up on your Wi-Fi. On some devices you needed a password here. Then if you come up here, some cars have the Android Auto will automatically start. Mine doesn't, so you do have to click it the first time, but then all the other subsequent times it should start automatically. Now you can see this is the Wi-Fi. It's connected here, So that's all done. On, like I said, some devices you did need a password. If you do, the password is 1234567 8. This one didn't need it, so that's great. And then you do have to have your Bluetooth on the scanning mode. And then if you look up here, this is the Android Auto setup. This is all the apps that you want to put on there. And then if you did need to get back into your car navigation system or your car system, if you want to use the radio or other features that are just central to your car, for mine it's Kia. You just click this, you get back into your normal car mode, even though the Android Auto is still connected and still available, but you get back into your normal car mode if you'd like. Then if you want to toggle it back on, now we're back into the Android Auto. Then a couple of things, if you watched all my other videos, obviously you have. If you have Android Auto 8 to 11, you have an Android Auto app. If you have Android Auto 11 or higher, then you have the Android Auto built into your settings. So you just get into your settings screen, and then we move into here. It's going to be under Advanced Features, and it's Android Auto right here. If you don't know how to find this, you just do settings and do a search and type in Android Auto. But then this pops up, and then we got it right here. We click the Android Auto. Now, a couple of things you need to have set up here. I have another video where I go into all the details here and the customized launcher and all the things you could do with it, which are really cool. But for this to work properly, you need to have the Start on Android Auto automatically. You need to have that on always. You need to have this. This means when your phone is locked in the car, your Android Auto will still have access and can still automatically boot up, which is great. You could set it with this, start your music automatically, so that means wherever you got out of the car, whatever song was playing, when you get back in the car and turn it on, it will automatically go right back to that same spot, which is great. Then a couple other things in here. The wireless auto system, you have to have that toggled on so that it will know that it was working. The other important feature is that your car needs to support a wired Android Auto system without this device, and then this device turns it from a wired system to a wireless, so you don't have to plug your phone in anymore. You just got to get in the car, you have your phone on you, and Android Auto will automatically boot up. If you have two people in the car that share the car and they both have their phones hooked up to this, the device will find one and link into it, and if you don't want it to be that one, then the person who doesn't want their phone linked just has to shut off the Bluetooth connection. The other issue is if you ever have any problems with this, with some of these devices I noticed I've never had an issue along the way as after it was already booted up, but sometimes initially there is an issue, and I think it might be the car or the connection or the phone or something may not be working exactly right. But if there is any kind of issues, reset it. All you gotta do is just pull this out quick. You'll go back to your normal setup here on your normal car setup, and then you just plug this back in, and within 10 seconds the Android Auto should pop back up, and then we'll be ready to go again. And that kind of just resets the whole system. And this is a good example. Sometimes it doesn't, and if it doesn't, that just means you need to sometimes you just have to open up your Bluetooth and reconnect it. But there it goes there. And actually, I didn't have to do it. It just took a couple extra seconds. But then we get back into your Android Auto, and everything's set up just like you had it before. The other thing to keep in mind, if you go into an area with a lot of radio interference, this might disconnect for a moment, but then a couple more seconds, it'll just go ahead and automatically reconnect. This also sometimes happens if you go into the wireless toll systems. The system will just shut off because of all the interference, but then we'll restart it. Like I said, a couple of seconds. You don't need to do anything. It'll just reboot on its own. So I'm going to be using this device for a little while, and I will let you know if there's any glitches or issues or any other problems that I have. So in the description, I'll have links of where you can get this device. And like I said, stay tuned for a little bit. I'll use this for a little while and update you if there's any issues with the device at all, and if there's any features I forgot to mention. I stand corrected. There are little lights here. The green blinking light means there's a connection. It will start off red and then blink red as the connection is getting set, and then once you have it set up, it'll be the green there. And then you do have this connection on the other side, and I just wanted to test something here. So let's just see if this is like a pass-through and if we'll actually just charge the phone. Yeah, so if for some reason this is your only charging port, you could just do a pass-through here, plug it in, and you could use your wireless Android as needed. And like I said, automatically restart every time you get in the car. And then for some reason, if you do need to charge it, you could just plug in a regular USB-A in there and then plug it into your phone. Now it is doing slow charging, but it will still charge the device. You could also just plug it take this device out and just plug your phone into the data port if you want. But that's something that you could just leave this connected. Then you could kind of tape it on top here or tape it out of the way. And then if you need to use the access of the extra charger, it's there. Okay, I'm back in the studio. I'd like to thank the company for supplying this device to me. And as usual, this video is my opinion and mine alone. And this has not been submitted to anyone to review before it was published. I did review it and edit it, even though it may not seem that way, but you should have saw the raw footage. And just a couple other features I wanted to go over here. While using the device, I did not experience any lag on the device. The music played just fine. There was no lag or latency getting into the menu systems. Everything seemed to work fine, just as if it was wired, which is as it should be. Also, I didn't mention that the steering wheel controls on my car work perfectly, and it should work for you as well. The volume adjustment, the toggling to the next track of the music, hitting the voice command on the steering wheel to get the Google Assistant, everything worked just perfectly with that. I do have a few of these devices, and one thing I did know is this device did have a little bit of a variable booting up time or connection time. You know, usually in the other devices it's about 30 seconds or so, but sometimes with this device it was amazingly almost instantaneously. Like, you get in the car and Android Auto was already up and running, which was very unusual. But then also sometimes it took up to like 45 seconds to reconnect sometimes. But again, 30, 45, 60 seconds, really not that big of an issue. Once it was connected, there was no latency at all while using it, and it didn't disconnect while I was using it unless I went into some area of real high interference. Even though the connection time was a little variable, it still, once it connected, everything worked just fine. I didn't have any issues with it. So this is one of those devices, again, you plug it into the car, you set it up the first time, which only takes a couple of moments, and then basically you forget about it. And then every time you get into the car, your Android Auto automatically boots up without you thinking about it, and you just get used to having it. So if you made it this far, please consider subscribing. That would be wonderful. Please turn on the notifications and like. That would be really appreciated. And if you have any thoughts that might be helpful to me or someone else, go ahead and leave them in the comments section. That would be appreciated. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks so much for watching.